Good evening. The Secretary General will brief on the meeting of the NATO-Ukraine Council, and then we'll take your questions. Secretary General.
Good evening. We have just concluded a day of productive meetings on support for Ukraine. This morning I met with President Zelensky. Together we took part in the US-led Ukraine Defense Contact Group. More than 50 nations, including all NATO allies, focused on Ukraine's most urgent needs. Russia is stepping up its attacks on Ukrainian infrastructure and is preparing again to use winter as a weapon of war. So it is even more important that we step up and sustain our support to Ukraine. I welcome the new announcements in the past hours, among which Belgium and Denmark have confirmed their plans to deliver F-16 jets to Ukraine. Canada will donate tens of millions of dollars worth of winter clothing and equipment. Germany announced a €1 billion package with a focus on Patriot and RST air defense systems. The UK is committing more than €100 million for more air defences and mine clearance equipment. And the US will provide more than $200 million worth of air defense, artillery and rocket ammunition. This afternoon, we welcomed Ukrainian Defense Minister Rustem Umerov to a meeting of the NATO-Ukraine Council. Establishing the Council was one of the 3 historic decisions we took at the Vilnius summit to bring Ukraine closer to NATO. We also brought Ukraine to within 1 step of the alliance by removing the requirement for a membership action plan. And we agreed a program to make Ukraine's armed forces fully interoperable with its future NATO allies. Today, in the NATO-Ukraine Council, we discussed Ukraine's priorities on its path to NATO membership, including long-term interoperability and defense procurement. A modernized defense and security sector will not only help Ukraine to prevail, it will also ensure the Ukrainians can sustain peace and stability. Allies commended Ukraine's continued fight against corruption, even in the midst of Russia's brutal war. We also made clear that NATO will step up support to help Ukraine weather another difficult winter. This includes providing more cold weather clothing, demining capabilities, fuel and medical equipment. This will help the brave Ukrainian forces to fight through the cold and continue to press forward. Tomorrow, NATO's defense ministers will meet to discuss strengthening our deterrence and defense, NATO missions and operations, the damage to critical undersea infrastructure in the Baltic Sea, and the situation in the Middle East. With that, I'm ready to take your questions.